How's it going, everybody? Yes, I know it's been about 2 weeks since I've uploaded a video. That's my bad. I get caught up with college, and sometimes it's not even the fact that I'm really busy with school. It's just that life of college gets in the way of, this kind of thing. And I'm definitely still doing it. Yeah, I'm still, doing YouTube. I'm not like leaving or anything. I am pursuing other things in my different career of, sports management. Which is something I'm looking into currently right now. Not really fully into it yet. But yeah, I've also been playing a couple of new games called Pokepedia. Yeah. Pokepedia. Whatever the new Switch 2 game is. But yeah, I do apologize for not uploading. It has been a very long time, 2 weeks, since I uploaded. But I will be back with an upload today and hopefully tomorrow. But if you guys do enjoy, like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Your most diabolical confessions. Now, we did a video reacting to this on another channel. It was pretty different, but you guys did enjoy that, so we're gonna do one on Birdie. But again, if you guys do enjoy, like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it.
Your most diabolical confessions. You submitted your confessions. I will be reading them, and I'm probably gonna wish I never did. Okay, but in all seriousness though, thank you guys for submitting your
Also, if anyone wants to put your confessions into the comments, I'm curious what you guys have to. Obviously, don't put like diabolical ones because you're putting them into the public. But just some funny confessions. I'm curious what you guys have to say.
Confessions, I appreciate it. But without further
and if you guys watch the end of the video, I will say one confession of mine. I will say one.
ado, let's begin. I once picked a credit card and spent it on Clash of Clans gems before it got blocked. You know what's crazy? This is one of the most tame confessions I found, despite it.
Yeah, I feel like this is pretty like neutral, or I shouldn't say neutral, but just like so basic. Yeah, I mean, like I feel like everyone was like jokingly. This also probably is a joke because a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, I spent so much money on Clash of Clans," and even if it wasn't a joke, we were like, "Okay." Like, it's not that crazy unless you spent like $2,000.
It being nuts. Stealing a credit card in itself is crazy. Like, that just goes without saying. But for Clash of Clans gems? Yo, come on, bro. I know the upgrades take like 5 days, but it's not worth it. Hi, Birdie. I've been watching since the early days on your other channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. Anyways, when I was in 5th grade, some girl that used to bully my sister kept bragging that she had AirPod Pros and nobody else did. And I remember she was also the first in our school to get an iPhone 11. So for whatever reason, I decided to steal her AirPods at recess and hid them in our teacher's purse. As expected, the girl crashed the hell out and everyone had to dump out their backpacks and empty their pockets to prove that they didn't take the AirPods. Nobody found them and everyone went home for the day. I remember not seeing my teacher at school for like a
Wouldn't it be cool if building a website felt like working in your favorite design tool? With Framer,
entire building cut out.
Oh
I
my
stayed there for a
God. Why would you flip something like that? If you know you're not supposed to be in there and you see electrical units and computers around you, you probably shouldn't have flipped a huge switch in the middle of the
in the dark.
room.
Now I just sort of chilled in the pitch black hallways. And then I pulled the switch again before I left. The lights turned back on. But when I got into class the next day, the internet still wasn't working. It was broken for a whole week.
See, before that, I was about to say, like, he might have also just helped it, because when he just done a hard reset for everything, maybe there's like some issues going on that he didn't know of that maybe he fixed. But no Wi-Fi for a week is crazy.
And we got an email from the president of our school apologizing for the internet not working. I never told a soul until now. How did they leave that shit unlocked, bro? I was in health class during 5th period. When the teachers searched...
Like, they wouldn't have, like cameras in that facility that would shut off power and turn off the Wi-Fi for a whole week.
For some videos to play, and she accidentally clicked on your video about health class. And the class just looked at each other in disbelief and started laughing. The teachers eventually caught on and changed the video to the one that she actually wanted to play. Yo, this is the funniest one I've seen by far. Oh my God. How did she find my video out of all videos? And there's no way she just let that shit play for like 10 seconds. I was like, oh yeah, nothing's wrong here. Honestly, that's hilarious. When I was in the University of Iowa marching band my sophomore year,
Iowa. Wow, this is a
graduate this spring. We had some crazy parties at the saxophone frat house that all the band kids went to. And I also happened to work for the campus security. So when the party got busted for loud music and drinks, I remembered that I had my work uniform in the car. So I just put it on and just acted like my drunk ass was a part of the bust. And what was crazy was my manager was also at the party and got busted.
A manager. I cannot imagine because, like, I mean, I wasn't necessarily a band kid in high school. I was in like drumline or whatever. But like, especially in college now, they're not really known for being like that weird. Some of them definitely are. I cannot imagine the freaky things that happen at a freaking band kid like marching band party, bruh.
Since he was also in the band, but I got away with it to this day. Yo, that was an insane play. Okay, so I used to like this girl who was a grade above me. She was a junior and I was a sophomore. We were both in ROTC, and I liked her since the beginning of my sophomore year. By the second semester, I may or may not have gone too yandere on her, which means obsessed. And I deadass went out of my way to follow her around. Eventually, that got me called to the front office, and I got off on a warning. And now every single time I see her, I walk in the opposite direction. I got no words, bro. This is one of the craziest ones.
No, this is crazy, bro. Full on stalked her. That's just crazy behavior. Cause like anyone that's going to say, oh, give him a break, he was just in love. You can't just stalk someone for like days on end.
See, by far. Or well, ones I could put in the video. There are some that were so insane I couldn't even put them in the video. So I was visiting a family member's house in Philadelphia. And the day before, I went to Taco Bell to see if the rumors were true. To see if Taco Bell really makes a shit brew. So after I ate it, I didn't really feel anything. But the next day, however, I really had to go. Really bad. And then I went.
I will say, out of all the times I've been to Taco Bell, I've never had stomach issues. Mainly because I found this out. I just ate tacos. So I would eat like the Dorito Loco tacos. I would eat the regular tacos. I wouldn't really have that like different of food. That was until I had a Crunch Wrap Supreme. Just know, if your body is a little bit sensitive to that kind of stuff, do not get one of those. They're good. Not the next day.
And when I flushed the toilet, I clogged it. And then when I walked out of the bathroom, there was another guy that just walked right in after me and saw the monstrosity I had left in there. And then the guy that walked in after was the one that got blamed for it. And I never went back. It's not a lie what they say about Taco Bell, bro. Like, the Taco Bell shits really can get wicked. Especially if you get, like, that Dorito Gordita Crunch and, like, some nacho fries. Yeah, bro, say goodbye. It's over. You're gonna officially have beef with your colon. When I was around 8 or 9, my sister used to get on my nerves a lot. So I would routinely go into her room when she was gone and piss in her laundry basket, knowing she would blame it on the dog. I did this for 3 years until my dog died. So I knew I couldn't do it anymore. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, you got me fucking speechless again. I mean, I guess this is the type of shit that I should have been expecting to see, knowing that I'm firing up a video on confessions. I thought my crush was dressed up as a mannequin in a Target, and I flirted with one in the clothing aisle for about 20 minutes before I realized that she was hiding in the dog food aisle. And then by the time I realized that it was not her, there was a whole crowd of people that had come to watch me. And after that, let's just say I never went to Target again.
Oh
and also,
my God,
I love your
that's
videos.
so
You're the
embarrassing.
GOAT. Keep up the great work. Much appreciated, bro. Yo, how did you not notice, bro? For 20 minutes? Goddamn.
No, what's for 20 minutes? For like a minute, it's like kind of funny. But for 20 minutes, he's just raising up a mannequin.
So in 7th or 8th grade,
That's a really long one. Jeez.
I had a crush on this girl we'll call Kylie. And Kylie was that girl that pretty much dated every guy in our grade. I don't know how it happened, but I caught feelings knowing damn well she would not be good for me. Then after a while, I got the brilliant idea to ask her out over Snapchat. And moments later, I see in the chat, Kylie took a screenshot of the chat. And eventually later on, everybody at my school knew. I was devastated for weeks. Juice and X on replay.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Where vibe coding meets drag and drop freedom.
AirPods in all day, wearing full black. After about 2 or 3 weeks, my homeboy came up with a plan to get back at her. And eventually, we ended up getting a hold of one of her parents' contacts.
Ooh.
And we 6'9'd her ass, bro. Like, we started snitching. We started throwing a little bullshit in there. We planted shit on her to make it look like she was cheating on the end of year exams, so she just had to restart everything. My homeboy somehow got evidence on her talking to other dudes while dating one of the basketball players that was over 6 feet and sent it to him. And the next day, she was dumped by him in the cafeteria for everybody.
That's a good homeboy right there. Dang.
See, she was bawling her eyes out and didn't say a word for the rest of the day. And as I thought we were done, my homeboy started beef with Kylie and her ex's new girlfriend, which led to a huge fight. She ended up getting suspended for the rest of the year. Y'all are wild, bro. Oh my. Once when I went on a cruise with my family because it was my grandfather's birthday, me, my brother, my mom, and dad all had to share a room together. I shared a bed with my brother and my parents shared a bed together. My sister was in the other room with my grandpa and grandma. But one day during some free time, my brother and I, along with my cousin, decided to play some Mario Maker on my cousin's Switch in his room. However, we needed another controller. So I decided to go back to our room and get one of the Switch controllers. When I got to our room, I noticed the do not disturb sign hanging on the handle, but I didn't think of it. When I opened the door, I saw my mom and dad both, you know what. I closed the door as quickly as possible and went back to my cousin's room and said nothing about it to them. Later during the day, my mom came up to me all smiley, asked me how much I had seen. I told her nothing, but she just laughed it off and was saying how it's a natural thing for parents to do. Mind you, I was 16 when this happened, so I already knew what it was, but at that point, I was just scarred for life.
Yeah,
Damn,
16,
bro, I
yeah.
really thought walking into somebody taking
16
a
is like the awkward age that like you know about everything, but it's also awkward to see everything.
was a really embarrassing and awkward situation, but this is on a whole nother level, bro. I would not wish something like this on my worst enemy. All right, so I ruined my neighbor's friend's birthday party when I was 9. Now, hear me out real quick. This is a long one. I was invited to my friend's neighbor's party since I was a good friend to him. Or, well, at least that's what he said to his parents, so they invited me over. There were other kids over, and I knew that I did not deserve to be invited. We were jumping in the bouncing castle with a football, and we were having a lot of fun until the parents called out to sing happy birthday to the neighbor kid. When we were getting ready, my dumbass friend decided to tell me, I bet you to throw the football at him for $30. Since I was very young,
$30 though? I'm like, I'll buy you a cake. Because at least I'm getting like 20 bucks back.
it's stupid back then. I wasted no time and I just threw the football right at this neighbor kid's face. But I accidentally hit the mother, which caused her to fall on the edge of the table and drop the cake.
Oh my god,
Near the neighbor kid. Everyone looked at us with disgust and anger, so we ran out of their backyard into our houses. The mother was okay, and I apologized to her, but not to the neighbor kid. In conclusion, I know it was messed up, but in my defense, $30 is $30.
$30 is $30. I mean,
love your
come on.
videos too. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. Bro, when I first read that, I thought you did some crazy shit. When you said $30 is $30. I mean, to be fair, the most money you've seen in your life when you're like 9 years old is
9 years old and $30, bro. You would be like, I'm about to buy the whole world.
Monopoly money. That's a lot of bread when you're 9 years old. But it's definitely not worth carrying all that guilt with you afterward. Basically, I'm running a casino at my school. We play We play poker with pencils and pens in every class. I've already racked up about 1,000 pencils, and I'm essentially a pencil loan shark at this point. I give people pencils at extremely inflated interest rates, and I just take the benefits. There's a whole pencil black market too, and I've never been caught. Damn, 1,000 pencils. How'd you end up with 1,000 pencils? But no, that's funny as fuck.
Bro just opens his locker and it's just a bundle amount of freaking pencils.
Bro, the fact that no teachers have seen this going on either is wild. So basically, I hopped on this Bluetooth speaker in this mall thing and I blasted Fetty Wap. So a little backstory, I'd go out with my friends to random places via bike just because we had no shit to do. So that day, I just so...
Dude, I wish that there's a mall in my hometown. There's like several malls. 2 of them are like 25 minutes away, separately in different directions, but one of them is like a 5-minute drive. This mall is like one of the worst malls I have ever seen. Every single shop's closed down except for like the most like wild ass restaurants imaginable. Like a couple of them are good, but they're pretty bad.
The people who were running it had some speakers on the second floor playing music. They had Bluetooth.
I feel like that's not crazy though, because there's still music going
through
on.
An aux input, and they forgot to rip out the Bluetooth thing. So basically, I looked at the model and found it on my Bluetooth, and I clicked connect, and I absolutely blasted some music. It might have been Fetty Wap. I just said Fetty Wap for funny jokes. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. You gotta put him on the Fetty Wap. I can't even lie, bro. He had some heaters back in the day. And also, there were a frequent amount of confessions, just like this one right here. And now, obviously, I didn't want to, like, show a bunch of them in the video. Otherwise, YouTube probably would have demonetized the video. But here it is. I once gooned to a femboy AI.
Yeah, this is definitely a joke.
All right, bro. I'm into the...
Yeah, that's the end of that. But if you guys did enjoy, I'll be making videos pretty soon. So I hope you guys do enjoy. But as always, have a good one.